We have now some short presentations left, and first speaker after this small fika pause is Ola Andersson, who is a neonatologist and associate professor at Lund University. And you will speak about sustained cord circulation. Yes.
I will. So thank you for inviting me here. It's a privilege, and it has been such a nice couple of hours learning so much already. Thank you for that, everybody. So it's too easy to be true, because sustained cord circulation is what you usually call the delayed cord clamping. But what it really means that you sustain the cord circulation that has been going on for hopefully 9 months. And what I was asked to talk about was anemia. And just to mention that a little bit shortly, that's it's very common among children under 5. It's almost half of all children under 5 that has anemia at 5 years of age, and half of them has, or 40% has, iron deficiency anemia. And when you look at the burden of years lived with disability from anemia, it's the highest in babies under 5. Now it's an echo here. And when you look at the why, which is the most common reason for having anemia, it's iron deficiency all through ages. And this is the total anemia prevalence in different year groups. And there you can see that anemia is mostly prevalent in infancy, and then it drops. And when you get up to 20 or just before that, it levels out. But anemia is the small child's problem. And when you look at the total anemia year lived with disability, it's the same. It's the youngest children that has the most years lived with disability. In Nepal, where I had the privilege to do studies with Ashish, a 1-year-old baby has 90% of them has anemia. And here is the years lived with disability for all diseases. And if you look there, you will see that up to 14 years of age, iron deficiency is the most prevalent cause of years with lived disability. It's not death, but it's years we've lived with disability. And one way of treating this is 1 deciliter of blood. And it's 3 minutes. Not 1, 3. We have shown that this is old research that has shown that in the womb there is about 1/3 of the blood of the baby is in the placenta. If you clamp immediately, of course that blood will stay there. And if you wait 3 minutes, 1 deciliter of this blood will transfer into the baby. And that is almost 50% extra blood. The iron in that blood is what's needed for 3 months for growing, between 3 and 6 months or between 6 and 12 months of age. It's an enormous amount of iron. It's an enormous amount of iron that you will get as a slow release substrate. So it won't be toxic. It has been shown in Sweden at 4 months, in Mexico and Argentina at 6 months, and the longest follow-up we did in Nepal, where we showed that there was an effect of ferritin. It was 33% higher still after 8 months by only waiting more than 3 minutes. That was the only thing we did. And we compared less than 1 minute with more than 3 minutes to get this effect. And we had a 9% reduction. You see here this anemia The anemia was 82. I'm sorry, it was not 90. Yes, it was 86% at 12 years of age, and we reduced it with 8%. So it's a very small reduction, but in Nepal, it makes that about 50,000 children every year doesn't have anemia when they are 1 year of age. So it's quite a large number still. And for the iron deficiency anemia, it was, of course, larger reduction. It wasn't significant for 12 months, but there was a reduction. This was also associated with a better development of these children at 1 year of age. Quite clear that the less anemia, you had a better development, almost all through all parts. And so that's how I try to convince you about anemia. We all talk about delayed cord clamping. And everybody knows about it. It was mentioned in the preterm guidance. And it's because it has been shown to reduce mortality with about 36%. And this was just waiting 30 seconds. And also reducing intravenous or intraventricular hemorrhage. But everybody is happy now. We do delayed cord clamping, and everybody says it should be for at least 1 minute. And that's what we are standing today. In this new paper, it says 1 minute or more. If you look at every guideline in the world now, it's 1 minute or more. But all the evidence for long-term effects comes after 3 minutes. So here somebody has just said, and that's why I feel a little bit like this research program is like a Cinderella. Because everybody think that this is okay, now we have delayed cord clamping. We shouldn't ask the ones who really know when we are deciding what are the most important research subjects, what are the most important things to do. And I say, just to document cord clamping and see to it to wait more than 3 minutes, that's one of the most evidence-based things you can do. Don't be there when you are sitting in all the ones of you that are stakeholders. Don't think that you have done the right thing, but just we have to put in delayed cord clamping. And for you who do studies, clinical studies, and there is a lot of people to look at here now, you have to include the timing of delayed cord clamping, because if you don't, you actually don't know if your intervention was the most important one, or if it was the delayed cord clamping. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ola.